All right, well, this video is going to be yet another Espresso machine electronics video. It's going to be quite a bit shorter and a little less in depth than the video that I did on the Bambino electronics. Mostly I did this because I was reviewing the Bambino, so I didn't need the Ascaso for a couple weeks while I was using the Bambino as my main machine. I figured, heck, let me go through and see the differences in how Ascaso did things compared to Breville. Now, one of the nice things about the Ascaso machine is that you can get a technical manual, and it actually goes over most of the hard wiring. So I'm not going to spend too much time going over this rat's nest because they actually provide a schematic for that. But I will kind of show you what's in here. Mains comes in here at the back, and you've got a little bit of filtering that's not on their schematic. And so there's a capacitor and a resistor just doing a little input filtering. All the mains wiring then is basically running through this big block that goes into the PCB, but it does kind of run through some stuff that's hardwired. So like the cup warmer that's on the lid is hardwired, and as soon as you flip on the on-off switch, the cup warmer is going to be warming up. There's also a big thermal cutout. This is a big thermostat, so there is some thermal protection built in, and I think there's also thermal protection on the pump if it overheats. All the LEDs, as far as I can tell, I think all the LEDs are mostly hardwired into the mains voltage. So they're all kind of just on, like the water tank and other stuff. Those LEDs just kind of come on with the power. Like I said, this big block comes into the PCB, and that's how all the main stuff switch. So this also goes out to like the pump and the solenoid and the thermal block, all controlled on the PCB. There is this big aluminum plate where the PCB mounts on the front, and on the back is the mounting point for the big triac for the thermal blocks that mounts to the back. They didn't use any thermal paste on that, which was kind of surprising, but probably just doesn't need it. Other plugs coming in, you've got this little 4-pin plug that runs down to at the very front. It's underneath this, and I didn't pull it out, but there is a separate kind of daughter board for the front buttons and display. And best I can tell, that's got to be serial. So I guess there may be a microcontroller on that. I can definitely see an IC on the back, but I assumed that was just the display driver. But all I can tell is that must be talking via serial, because there just aren't enough wires to have 2 buttons and a display. So, must be a separate controller on that board. So you got another 3-pin connector, this one with the yellow and green wire that goes over to your flow meter. You've got a 2-pin connector for the NTC that goes into the top of the thermal block. And then you've got this set of red wires, and this is for all of your switches on the front. And so they all talk to the board through this. And so, like I said, I'm not going to go through the detail of like how the wiring flows through everything, because Ascaso, you can get a technical diagram, and it has a schematic for all this wiring. Now, I went ahead and I did trace out the PCB, and so let's look at the PCB for this thing. So with that out of the way, let's look at the PCB. Now, again, I'm going to have a schematic put up. It is not as well organized as the last one, simply because, I didn't want to spend nearly as much time on this one as I did that last teardown. This is going to be a shorter video. Just wanted to do it kind of quick and dirty to kind of highlight some of the differences in how they approach things. One of the biggest differences between the Ascaso board and the Breville board is this big chunk right here, and this is the AC to DC converter circuit. So all the low voltage is provided out of this block, and so it takes that 120 and it's kicking it down to 5 volts output. And so instead of doing everything discretely on board, Ascaso has just went with a singular unit. Now, this is from Meanwell. This is an IRM-03-5, and again, it's going to take that high voltage AC signal and just drop it down to 5 volts, and that comes out down here. There is another voltage regulator that kicks that down to 3.3 volts, because that's what you're going to need to run your microcontroller. It can't take 5 volts. It's an STM32 F03 product, very, very similar to what's found in the Breville. Okay, so up here at the top, you've got your connector for all of the switches that come in. They feed through some resistor networks, and then everything feeds over to the microcontroller. And there are, by the way, a bunch of protection diodes here for all those switches. You've got your NTC hookup right here. And again, this stuff then feeds over to the microcontroller. You can see on the back side, basically all of those things. You can see the low voltage side, all the signal traces coming in over here. And then on the high side, this is basically all the high voltage section. You can see kept separate for insulating purposes, right? You don't want high voltage getting over here in your low volt side. So next up, you've got the flow meter. Now this has a very similar kind of dual transistor setup for the power. So that, again, all I can think is that the power can be switched on and off to the flow meter by the microcontroller. And then all that's pretty standard. Now, this is the 4-pin hookup for the front display. And this is where I was saying when I traced this out, I couldn't really figure out what's going on. All I can think is that basically you got power on one side, ground on the other, the 2 signal pins in the middle. Those go through, it's kind of hard to tell, but there's a little IC up above it, which is a set of ESD protection diodes, but it's all on one little 6-pin chip. Basically, I guess protecting because the buttons and stuff, they don't want you shocking through and cooking the microcontroller. That's all I can figure. But the 2 middle pins are the only things that are hooked up to the microcontroller that I can tell. So that must be, again, some sort of serial communication, because I don't know how else you'd handle 2 buttons and display with just 2 pins. Again, without that separate board having another microcontroller and it being able to talk back and forth. I don't know how else you do that. Otherwise, we get over into the main control system over here. So your microcontroller, it's got a set of dip switches, and underneath, by the way, underneath these dip switches, there are 5 pins, and I believe that's going to be the programming interface. So again, you could reprogram this thing if you wanted to. Microcontroller controls everything through a whole bunch of optoisolators. They're all over. Big bank optoisolators there and here that kind of talk to all the high voltage side of things. You've got obviously the big triac that it controls to run the thermoblock. You've got another pretty beefy one on board for the pump. And then another couple of triacs up here, one of which is for the solenoid. The other, I don't know what it does. It connects to the middle pin, the pin 5 here, and that doesn't hook up to anything. So I don't know if there's just some extra triac for what, all right? I don't know. I don't know what that's for. Maybe this is the same board that they use for a different system, and they just, it wasn't worth making a separate build of this. I don't know, but it seems to be all hooked up, so you could, again, in theory, control some other solenoid, I guess, but not really sure where that's going because it doesn't seem to be hooked up to anything. But that's basically the layout of this board. Like I said, I don't want to spend too much time on this video because most of the details, a lot of people aren't going to be interested in as far as, specifically how stuff's wired in. And I've got the schematic up for the nerds who really do want to go through and see what the pinouts look like. But that's the overview of the PCB. Everything is very, very similar to how Breville does it as far as, optoisolators on everything and the way they're controlling the flow valve and the power. But there are some significant differences. Again, they're using a whole built-in power supply all in one unit instead of building their own on the board. They tend to also use a lot of STM stuff on this board, a lot of STM parts being used. I'll also say they tend to use all the optoisolators are the same. Everything's a lot simpler on this, I think, compared to the Breville. So I wouldn't say it's worse. It's just they tend to use a lot of the same parts over and over and take a much more direct method, even though this was a little bit of a problem to trace out because the way they did all of their vias underneath the microcontroller, I don't know if you can see that mess. They had a lot of vias that I had to trace out that was a little bit more troubling And I would say their layout to me was kind of weird. Again, the way they wrapped everything over. I don't know if it was me. I would have thought they would put just high voltage on one side and all the low volt signaling on the other instead of wrapping around like this. But packaging, who knows? That's a whole deal unto itself, and maybe they made the choices for reasons that I don't know. Anyway, that's all I got for this video. If you've got any thoughts, comments, or questions, feel free to leave a comment down below, and I will put links out to a GitHub where I will dump a bunch of tech documents and the schematic for this thing out there in case you want to look at it. Thanks for watching.